Would you move across the world if it meant living better, spending less, and finding a lifestyle that balances productivity with passion? Because in 2025, Buenos Aires might just be the best-kept secret for digital nomads everywhere. It's got history, culture, food, and surprisingly, affordability. And the new visa rules? They're turning heads. In this video, we're going deep into what makes Buenos Aires a rising star in the remote work world. We'll cover cost of living, safety, workspaces, community, weather, visas, and most importantly, I'll share the most important tool I used to create a digital nomad life for myself. So, if you've ever wondered what it's really like to live and work remotely in Latin America's Paris, stick around. Let's start with the part most digital nomads care about most: culture. Buenos Aires doesn't just have culture, it lives it. And in 2025, it's more visible than ever. This city breathes creativity. You'll stumble across independent theater shows just walking down a street in San Telmo, hear tango echo through the plazas after sunset, watch artists paint stories across walls in Villa Crespo, where every mural feels like a revolution. Even the bookstores are landmarks. Take El Ateneo Grand Splendid, housed in an old theater with red velvet curtains still intact. In 2019, it was named the world's most beautiful bookstore by National Geographic. Buy a book, sip a cortado, and write your next pitch from a balcony seat. And the social life? It's woven into the streets. Sidewalk cafes are the office. Wine bars are the after-work vibe. And if you're lucky, you'll wander into a spontaneous guitar night in the middle of Recoleta. Now, let's get practical. What does it cost to live this well? Here's where Buenos Aires really surprises people. Yes, Argentina has inflation, but for anyone earning in dollars or euros, the exchange rate makes this city shockingly affordable. Most nomads are thriving on a monthly budget between $1,600 and $2,600. Let's break that down. A one-bedroom apartment in Palermo or Recoleta, $600 to $950 per month. Groceries, $200 to $320 depending on your habits. Dinner out, from casual to high-end, will run you $8 to $40 a meal. You can take the entire public transport network for just $15 to $25 a month. Utilities, think $70 to $120. High-speed internet, just $20 to $40 monthly. And co-working memberships, typically $120 to $300. So yes, you can live in one of the world's most cosmopolitan cities, eat well, work in style, and still stay under budget. One thing to note, a lot of nomads are now using alternative payment methods to get better exchange rates and bypass currency limits. Wise, Western Union, crypto wallets. These are all in regular use in 2025. Now, let's talk safety. This is a big one for solo travelers and digital nomads. The good news? Buenos Aires has made meaningful strides in safety. There's more police visibility in busy areas. And expat forums are actively sharing real-time safety tips. Petty theft still happens, especially in tourist-heavy spots like Florida Street or Retiro. But nomads continue to choose neighborhoods like Palermo Soho, Recoleta, and Belgrano. They're walkable, cafe-rich, and have a strong sense of local community. Even late into the night, Palermo doesn't sleep. Streetlights glow. Laughter spills from bars and plazas, and there's always a cafe, a conversation, or a crowd still buzzing. That constant hum, it gives the neighborhood a comforting sense of safety, especially if you're the type who loves a late-night wine or a weekend dance break. Just know this, the closer you are to Plaza Serrano, the more alive your nights will sound. For some, it's the heartbeat of the city. For others, it's a bit too much bass at bedtime. To each their own. Just avoid unfamiliar areas at night, don't flash valuables, and stick to trusted rideshare apps like Uber or Cabify. That's the smart way to do BA. Now let's shift gears to work. Because a great city means nothing if you can't actually get stuff done. And in 2025, Buenos Aires is ready. The digital nomad infrastructure has matured fast. Palermo is now home to more than a dozen modern co-working spaces. We're talking podcast studios, yoga rooms, rooftop lounges, even startup incubators. Some favorites? La Maquinita, expanded to 4 branches across the city. Urban Station, known for flexible desk options and great networking. Area Trays, trendy, modern, and bilingual workshops. And Huerta, a sleek, newer space with 3 locations. Monthly passes are affordable, and drop-in options make it easy for short stays too. But what really matters is the community. In 2025, Buenos Aires isn't just a stopover, it's a scene. Weekly meetups, tech mixers, language exchanges, and book clubs. They're all happening. You don't just find friends here, you find collaborators. Let's talk climate. Buenos Aires still has that classic Southern Hemisphere vibe. Winters in Buenos Aires? Gentle. Think 50s Fahrenheit. Light jacket weather, not parka panic. And summers? They bring the heat. Most days are warm and breezy, but every now and then, a heat wave rolls in and cranks things up into the 90s. The good news? You'll still get plenty of beautiful days perfect for rooftop cafes, weekend markets, and evening strolls under a violet sky. That's why most nomads are now choosing shoulder seasons. March to May, or September to November. That's when the weather is just right, not too humid, perfect for cafe hopping, rooftop asados, and weekend ferias. Now, the big one, how do you actually live here legally? In 2025, Argentina launched its digital nomad visa, and it's made a big difference. It allows you to stay for 12 months with a possible extension for another 6. To qualify, you'll need proof of remote work or freelancing, an income of around $2,500 per month, health insurance, and a clean background check. Simple, and if you don't want to go the visa route, you can still enter visa-free for 90 days and renew once. That's 6 months, no paperwork. Lastly, let's talk transit. Getting around Buenos Aires is easier than ever. Ezeiza Airport handles the international flights. Jorge Newbery takes care of domestic and regional ones. In the city, you've got buses, metro, called the Subte, and trains, all accessible with a rechargeable Sube card, now topped up through mobile apps. Electric scooters and bikes, they're all over Palermo and Microcentro. Easy to rent and fun too. So, what's the takeaway? Buenos Aires in 2025 is evolving. It's still full of old-world charm, but now it's wired for a new kind of traveler. A traveler who works from cafes, connects from co-working spaces, and finds community in a different language, yet feels right at home. Is it perfect? No city is. But Buenos Aires offers a rhythm, a lifestyle that doesn't force you to choose between hustle and happiness. It's a place where your dollar goes far, but your days go further. So, what do you think? Could you picture yourself working from a rooftop in Palermo, latte in hand, Wi-Fi strong, tango drifting up from the plaza below? If you're ready to take that next step and want to know the single most powerful tool I use to build my own digital nomad life, you'll find the link waiting for you in the description. And hey, if this video helped shape your next move, tap that like button, hit subscribe, and stick around for more deep dives into the cities changing how and where we work. I'll see you in the next one.